I feel sad. I hold it back. And I mean, true, there are appropriate moments to express those emotions. And there are inappropriate moments. Like, I mentioned this. I work at a place where I assemble pens and lanyards and stuff. And so I have a lot of time to think and to feel. And so the emotions come up. Anger comes up. Particularly sadness comes up. And it's not always appropriate to start crying at work for no no obvious reason. You know what I mean? So, I sort of have to stuff it back down. But once I get home, I do my best to try and cry it out, to work it out, to get it out of my system. So that I can let it go. I am not always successful about this. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not always successful about this. But, it's a practice. And it's not something I've perfected, nor do I ever think I will 100% perfect this. I think it's a practice. So every time I do it, that's a good thing. And if I don't do it, well, keep practicing. You know what I mean? So, feelings. This post that inspired this. Feelings do serve a purpose. This person pointed out, anger helps you explore your boundaries. Loneliness helps you appreciate your uniqueness. Sadness, I forgot what she said about sadness. Every emotion, negative or positive, serves a purpose. And what you gotta do is experience the emotion because you know that it has a purpose. And I think all too often, especially in American society, feelings are stupid. Nobody cares about your feelings unless you're a child, and even then they only care in as much as it serves their own purpose. That's kind of a cynical thing to say on the Positivity Podcast, but yes, we live in a society, in America at least, where it's, you know what, keep going, no matter what. Like this morning, I'm not feeling great. I'm not feeling. Oh, I don't even know how to explain how I feel. I'm somewhere in between. Yes, I feel very liberated from doing Monday's show. I had a really great night last night, and so I'm feeling good from that. But I am exhausted. I am completely exhausted in so many ways. I really don't feel like going to work. But I'm going to do it. Because that's the American way. Is you get up and you do your job. And you do what you're supposed to do. No matter how you feel. Those pens aren't going to assemble themselves. But that doesn't mean that I can't take time to myself and for myself to take care of myself so that I can continue to get up and do this. And so, that's part of why, even though I'm really not feeling it this morning, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, I had no idea what I wanted to talk about, I said, Becca, just start talking. And keep going. Doing this podcast is part of my self-care, by the way. I mean, I do it in the hopes that the things that I have to say will help other people. That's a huge part of it too, but I gotta be honest, it helps me to talk these things out. It helps me to say them out loud and to put them out into the world. And hope that the words I say will find their way to someone who needs them. So, but that's how feelings are. They serve a purpose. And so if you let them serve their purpose, they're all positive. Even if in the moment it doesn't feel good to be scared or sad or angry. It doesn't feel good. But once you move past that, feel it to its end, you find that it serves a purpose. So, that's all I have to say about that. Also, it's time for me to get ready. So, let me talk about the things for which I am grateful today. I am grateful for my coworker / friend / maternal figure, Rita. She and her daughter and husband took me out to Buffalo Wild Wings last night for supper. So I went to bed with a very full stomach, and I had leftovers, so I just had some of that for breakfast. So I'm grateful for that. I am grateful that everything works out in the end. This is actually kind of a sub point to this. Yesterday's last day, today's payday, so I was dead broke yesterday. I had eaten my last can of ravioli the night before. I had nothing in the house to eat except for some mayonnaise in the in the fridge, right? So I was freaking out about, okay, well, what am I gonna have for supper? Well, I had another very generous coworker buy me some ramen noodle, cup of noodles and some other things for me to have at work. And so I said, okay, I'll bring one of the cup of noodles home so that at the very least I will have that to eat. And and then I was waiting with Rita for her husband Tony to come pick us up, and she says, "Hey, so I was thinking we could go out to dinner tonight." Because her daughter Susie was in town, and she said, "Hey, I thought we could go to dinner tonight, and and you don't worry about paying for anything." And I was just like, okay. So, I'm grateful for that, for that dinner, but I'm also grateful that it was another lesson in everything works out. You just trust that it will, and it will. So not only did I have dinner last night, I had breakfast this morning. I mean, I'm good. And it's payday, so yay. Secondly, I am grateful for the moon. Oh my gosh. Yesterday morning, I leave the house at about 6:45, between 6:30 and 6:45. And I have my front door is being really weird, so every morning I have an argument with it trying to lock it up. But I got my door locked, and I walk over to the stairs, and I'm always like looking down and counting stairs. But there's 8 stairs, and then a landing, and then 8 stairs. So I go down the first 8, and I get to the landing, and out of the corner of my eye, I see this really bright light. And so I look up, thinking that light doesn't seem like it should be there, because street lights are generally further off. That's a really bright light. So I look up, and it's the freaking moon. I never get to see the moon. But there she was, just looking at me, so to speak. And I just stood there for a minute going, whoa, wow. And then I realized, oh crap, I gotta go wait for Rita and Tony over yonder, so I better get going. I go down the last 8 steps, but I still took a second, and I took a picture, and I sent it to all caps someone. It wasn't the greatest picture, but it was a pretty good picture, because he sent me a message later, and he was like, what is that? I was like, it's the moon. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. So I'm grateful for having that experience, because it's like I said, it's not something I get to see very often. And, excuse me, very rarely is it that bright where it actually, because I have very little peripheral vision. And so for something to catch my attention out of the periphery, that's huge. And so it was a really just wonderful moment that sort of took my breath away. And I'm grateful for that. And finally, because it's coming, I am grateful for bacon. Anyone who knows me knows, oh my gosh, has she not said this? I am grateful for bacon, like straight up bacon. We went to Buffalo Wild Wings last night, and one of the things that they very generously got me was these loaded potato wedges. So they were covered in cheese and bacon and seasoning, and oh my gosh, they were so good. But I haven't had bacon in forever, and I nearly just got lost in this moment of bacon. It was just so amazing. It was so wonderful. So I'm very grateful for bacon this morning. So, if you would like to contact me anywhere on the internet, what you need to be looking for is PurpleBecca923. That's PurpleBecca 923. That is my username on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. With regards to Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat, I always follow back unless and until you send me something inappropriate, in which case you'll be dealt with accordingly. PurpleBecca923@gmail.com is the email address, and PurpleBecca923.com is the website. Because uniformity. So until next time, remember to go out there and create what you deserve. Believe that you deserve it and create it. And then you can fly with the penguins. Toodaloo.